Okay, I'm recording this again. I lost my cool last time. I started hollering and I didn't need to do that. And I apologize. I wasn't even hollering at you. What I was doing, I was hollering at myself. I was just remembering how frustrating it was to go through the process of learning this one lesson that I want to share with you right now. And here it is. You can do it, we can help. Sound familiar? That's the Home Depot slogan for the home improvement. Like that, you can go to Home Depot, you can do these home improvement projects on your own. Home Depot can help. They can provide a little instruction, give you the tools and supplies and all that stuff. And so I thought, wouldn't it be smart to take the Home Depot business model and apply it to web design? And this was when WordPress was just coming out with the themes that made it so that it wasn't just a blogging platform. It was like a business website CMS. And I was like so excited about that because I was like, what if I just design the site and then my clients can put their own copy in and do their own blog posts, maybe do some lightweight change. If anything big comes up, I'm there to support them. But for the most part, they can just do all the stuff and I can just create the framework around it so that they're able to do the stuff, right? And it seemed kind of logical too, because the way that I used to work was I would just build out the website and then I just wait for clients to send me the copy and I would just basically copy and paste all the words that they wrote, stuck it into the website, and then we would go into the editing process where they would say, hey, you know what, wouldn't it be great if you changed this to that or whatever? And so I'm thinking everybody would be better off if they could just change the stuff themselves. So if I could train my clients how to do all the work, everybody would be winning, right? It's like the you can do it, we can help kind of a thing. Wouldn't that be great? No, it's not great. And it almost sunk my entire, in fact, not only did it almost sink my business financially, I almost just felt like, I literally did feel like quitting because it wasn't work. I was burning myself out for a bunch of different reasons. Like one of the big reasons was this was a high volume, low ticket business model, meaning that I was selling low ticket stuff, which meant that in order to make enough money to support my life and my family, I had to go high volume. I had to get a lot of clients. It's hard to get the clients, right? It's hard to find that many leads and land that many clients. And then on top of that, why would I push them into a WordPress site? Especially today when you have other options like Wix and whatever. Like why would if somebody only had $500 to spend on a site, why would I lock them into like a WordPress maintenance plan for like $50, $100 a month? Because that's what I need to do the backups, the maintenance, plugin updates, support, like all of that stuff, when they could just go over to Wix and spend $15 a month and all that stuff is baked in. Well, that's nuts, right? They should just go over to Wix and do it, right? So let's go a little bit deeper. Why would I bother to train somebody at all? Like, why would I show somebody how to build their own stuff when I could just do it for them? There's only one reason. And so here's an example, like to bring it to life with the Home Depot thing. I want to change the flooring in my kitchen. I don't like the flooring. We have dark cabinets and dark flooring, and I think it looks too dark in there. I'd like to brighten up one or the other, either the cabinets or the floor. And so I could theoretically go over to Home Depot, buy a bunch of new flooring that's a brighter color, and install it myself. Or I could hire somebody to come in and install new flooring that brightens the thing up for me, right? So which would I do? Well, let me think about it, because if I want to do it myself, I've never done that before. And so I'm going to have to buy some tools that I'm probably never going to use again. I'm going to have to learn how to do the work that I'm probably never going to do again, because I don't intend to become a floor remodeling person. I don't ever want to do that again. I just want to change this one floor one time and then be done with it. Like, it's not a skill that I would like to develop. And so like, I don't want to do it. So I would just hire somebody. So why would I not just hire someone? Well, the cost. It just comes down to the cost. It'll cost less if I do it myself. And that was the same problem with the web design thing. It costs less if you do it yourself, but the outcomes stink. Like, I was thinking to myself with this flooring thing, I haven't done the flooring thing, but as I think it through, I don't, like, if I did it myself, I'm going to be looking at all these little gaps around the island in the middle of the kitchen and stuff, and the flooring's probably not going to line up. I'm sure I'm going to make mistakes. And now I'm going to have to live with the mistakes or tear it all up and do it again, because it's the first time I ever laid down a floor. Same thing with with my clients. Like, if I'm showing them how to do web design stuff, they're going to mess it up. There's no way that my clients, and there's no way that your clients can do as good of a job as you can, because you've been doing it for years and they've never done it before. That's the whole point of hiring a professional. Like, if I get somebody to come and do the floor, I'm assuming that the people have laid lots of floors before and they kind of know how it works. They can get it done faster. They can get it done better. I'm going to be happier with it. And I don't have to spend my time on it. I can do other stuff that I'd prefer. That exact same mentality applies to this web design stuff. Why would I force a business owner to become a web designer when I'm sitting right there? I'm already a web designer. I can just do it for them. It's because of the money. It's like they need to be able to afford it, right? So it's just that one thing. If they could just afford the extra expense, then I can do a better job and then everybody wins. That means that I'm making money because I'm doing high ticket and low volumes. I have a number of clients that I can support. I'm making plenty of money to support my lifestyle and my family, and the clients are getting better results. And it even cascades all the way down to the customers. Like the customers are finding my clients because of the work I'm doing, and everybody wins if I can just solve the money problem. So how do you do that? Well, there's like 3 steps to solving the money problem. The first one is there's a little bit of targeting involved. You have to target audiences where if you were able to get them clients, that they're making more money than it cost you to do the work. So like their expense to you is lower than the revenue that's coming in to them. If you can just do that one thing, it doesn't matter what you charge. As long as you're bringing in more revenue than you're costing, it's a positive return on that investment, you can do whatever you need to do to get the results you need. So there's the targeting. So that means I'm not targeting businesses that are just doing small scale stuff. Like I'm not targeting people that might be selling handmade jewelry or something like that online, because if they can't make at least $100,000 a year of revenue, they don't need to spend $10,000 a year with me doing marketing. Like if they're only going to make $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 a year, it would be stupid for me to say, why don't you spend $10,000 a year on marketing? You see what I mean? So like there's targeting involved. You have to target the right audience that if you were able to get them the clients that they need, the clients would bring in way more revenue than it costs you to get the clients to come in. Like that's the big trick. But then there's a second step. The second step is you have to develop a solution that actually works. So like the first step is if I were able to get the clients to come in, then it would be profitable. You got to figure out an audience that allows for that to happen. So you got to pick a niche. And if you need help with the niche, check out lee.blue/leads. I have a whole free course right here that'll help you find out the niche that you want to work with. But once you have that, the second step is you have to develop a solution that actually gets the results. And that's the hardest part. But you're still doing it right now. Like here's the thing. If somebody calls you up right now and says, hey, I'd love to work with you. Can you help me with my web design and online marketing? You are going to go through the process, assuming that you were working the way that I was doing. What I would do was I would say, okay, great. Let's have a discovery session. Let me talk to you, figure out what's going on, and we'll come up with a custom solution right now. But that's the hardest part. It's like, how do I know what that is if I've never done it before? Like, how do I know how to help somebody that's operating a business in a sector that I've never done marketing before? Like, I'm probably going to get it wrong. There's going to be a trial and error, this risky trial and error phase where I'm trying stuff out to see what works. And there's a long period of time where I'm even just doing research to figure out what to try. And I'm doing it with every single project. Or you could do it this other way, the new way that I've been doing it with the Solution First agency, where you go through that solution discovery phase one time. And you do it before you get the clients. You do the research up front. You develop the solution first, and then you get the clients that want the results that your solution generates. And now what you're doing is you're selling websites like Apple sells iPhones, right? So like Apple is criticized sometimes for being so restrictive that you can't even change the settings. But what that means is you don't have to do anything. It's like you just turn on the iPhone and it just works. It's like there's not a lot of settings. You don't have to learn a lot of stuff. I can just show my grandmother how to do it. It's like you don't have to worry with it at all. It just does its thing. That's the idea about these solutions. So if you're gonna go high ticket, you need to have this solution that just generates results. It just works. It's low risk. It's fast turnaround. And here's the thing. That research cycle, the thing where you're trying to figure out what to do to actually get the results to come in, that's the hardest part. That takes the most time. It's the riskiest. It's like when you get to the end, you're not even sure if it works. You've never done it before. So what if you could solve that problem? And that would probably be at least 50% of the project, just figuring out what to do and how to do it right. And then chop that whole thing out and only do the implementation of what you know works. If you can do that, I guarantee you'll make more than twice as much money as you're making right now because you just chopped out half of the hardest part. Like even if the results were the same, you're chopping out the hardest part. You don't have to do that part anymore. You just jump straight to the implementation because you already know what the client needs. You already know what works, and you just do that part. You just crank it out, crank it out, crank it out. And the more you do it, the faster you get. And the more you do it, the better the results are. The higher your margins become. It's like, okay, what if you just compare apples to apples? Somebody calls you up, you have no idea what they want. You have to do the research phase, and then you launch the site. And then you charge $3,000 for it, and it takes you 2 weeks. Compare that to, what if the same person calls you up, you already know what they want, you already have a solution for them, you can do the whole thing in 1 week. Still charge the same $3,000. You just doubled your margins there, right? It's like you will make twice as, you could do 2 websites in 2 weeks instead of 1 in 2 weeks. And that's a doubling of your revenue. And I bet you that is a small amount of increase. Like you could probably triple or quadruple. Like if, for example, like Home Depot makes about, I think something like $150 billion a year. Apple makes like 200 or more billion dollars a year just selling iPhones. I think they make somewhere around like $400 billion a year. It's you just having a solution that you can go high ticket with is just so much more profitable. Now, I know things are getting out of whack with the billions of dollars and things, and we're just doing web design out of our houses or whatever, but the point is still the same. If you've got a solution that you know works, then sell that over and over to people. And it'll make you more money. It'll make your clients more money. It'll make their customers be able to find your clients. So they're enjoying those services as well. It's so much better in that direction. And then it comes down to the third thing, which is you keep using the same system over and over. So the 3 steps are, you got to target the right audience. So you got to find the niche. So don't forget to go to lead.blue/leads and you can discover and learn the niche. I'm going to show you how to get the leads for it. Then you actually develop a solution that works, which you're already doing anyway. Like if you feel like that's the scariest part, how do I know it works? What are you telling your clients right now? I don't know what's going to happen. Or are you doing the situation where you just, hey, well, you tell me how many pages do you want? You send me the copy. You tell me what colors you like and whatever. And then I'll just kind of take orders and kind of do whatever you say. Because that's the lowest value you can possibly be at that point. At that point, you're at risk of being replaced by AI. Like that's what AI does. They just go in and type what people think they want and they just get the thing. It's like, that's never going to scale. So you're still trying to use your knowledge and you're still doing consulting work. You're just not reusing the knowledge that you're getting. You're not reusing what you learned in the previous project for the next project, and you just kind of keep redoing the hardest part over and over. Whereas if you could reuse all of that, that's so much better for you, for the client, and the customer. That's the trick. So the bottom line behind all of this stuff is, don't sell websites like Home Depot. Sell websites like Apple sells iPhones. And if you want to see an $850 per month project, check out this blueprint right here. This is my $850 per month blueprint for web design that you can do out of your house, and it's awesome. So I'll see you right there.